Here you go. Just a second. Madam Clerk tells me that already. No? All right. At 3 o'clock, we'll call this special meeting of the City of Zebulon City Council to order for March 11th, 2026. Will you please will rise for the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Clemens, will you do us the honors, please?
Sure. Lord God, we thank you for your blessing. We thank you for this set upon time that we come to us community to discuss the things of our city. We pray that everything be done in decent order and will support the community. And this is our prayer. We ask you in your mighty name. All God's people say.
Amen. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. May be seated. You all have had a chance to review the agenda, council, and I will also let you all know that Mr. Clemens has got to leave us at 4 o'clock, so we're going to try to be diligent in getting through our agenda, so he can participate in as much of the discussion as possible. So, okay. Yes, we talked about that yesterday. So where would you want to add that? Item 11? No, item 10. All right, so you're asking for a resolution to close the bank account at First Bank of Pike. That, and you'll explain why that when we get to that point. This is something, we'll talk about it. All right. Does any other council have any other items of business that need to be added that cannot be moved to our March 16th work session? Okay. All right. Entertain a motion to approve the agenda as amended. Mr. Hollis has moved. Second by Sawyer. All those in favor say aye. All opposed, same sign. All right, thank you very much. The first item for consideration is the consideration of adoption of the proposed annexation rezoning of parcel 066, 062 containing 4.67 acres more or less, lying and being in land lot 223 and 224 to be rezoned low density residential, and parcel 066-051 containing 3.33 acres more or less, lying and being in land lot 224 to be rezoned highway commercial, and parcel 066-050 containing 0.92 acres more or less, lying and being in land lot 224 to be rezoned highway commercial. So as you all recall, we held a public hearing on this at our last regular meeting. We were awaiting the 45-day comment period from the county. We did not receive any formal objection to our proposed annexation. So at this point, council is available to take action. This is the Mullinax rezoning, Mullinax Turner rezoning up on Highway 19. All right, so we will need 2 motions.
I mean, annexation first.
I make a motion.
All right, so there's a motion on the floor to approve the annexation of these 3 parcels that I just described. Is there a second? Hollis is second. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor of the motion to annex these properties signify by saying aye. All opposed, same sign. All right, that is, the annexation motion has been approved. And then I will entertain a motion to rezone the properties that were just annexed into the zoning categories which I described earlier, low density residential and highway commercial. Mr. Clemens has moved to complete the rezoning of those 3 properties to low density residential and highway commercial. Is there a second?
I'll say.
Second by Morris. Discussion on the motion. We're all clear on what we're rezoning. Those are the same categories essentially that they were in the county, now they're being incorporated into the city. All right. Be no further discussion, call the question. All those in favor of that motion say aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We will file in writing with that. Next item for consideration is adoption of proposed annexation and rezoning of parcel 068-009Q containing 2.29 acres more or less, lying and being in landlocked 252. Property is currently zoned professional institutional in the county to be annexed and rezoned to highway commercial in conjunction with annexation. And once again, this is the piece of property at the corner of Old Zebulon Road and Highway 19. Proposed use is some retail office space and a proposed Zaxby's. We held, well, just saying, we did hold a public hearing at our last meeting, and this was the same time period expired. We did not receive formal notice of objection, so I entertain a motion to annex the property.
Make a motion we approve the annexation.
We'll get that on record. All right, there's a motion before to annex the property. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Hollis. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. All opposed, same sign. All right, annexation has been completed. So we will also need a separate motion to rezone the property to highway commercial. So Mr. Clemens has moved to rezone parcel 068-009Q as highway commercial. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Hollis. Discussion on the motion. All those in favor of that motion signify by saying aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right. We'll let them know as well. So, Mr. Zaxby, you can move forward.
Thank you.
Welcome to the city.
Thank you.
Look forward to chicken. All right, next item is a consideration of adoption of the final plat and acceptance of the right-of-way deed for Fountain Farm subdivision. You all had the final plat in your packet, also the right-of-way deed that was part of our closeout package that was submitted by the developer. And with our previous meeting, we approved the development agreement. And at the planning commission meeting on March the 3rd, they recommended approval of the final plat. So, and based on my understanding with Cammie, that they've provided all the closeout paperwork, bonds. We've had our engineer go out there and take a look at the roadway. There were a couple of issues, mainly with some storm drains that were installed that weren't on the drawings. So we're going to ask for an as-built for water, sewer, and storm, but we're not going to. I wouldn't suggest holding up anything that could be done as far as before COs are issued. And he had no comments on the roadway, anything else. So unless council has questions for the developers, we would need a motion to approve the final plat for Fountain Farm and authorize the mayor to sign it because they brought copies with them. And then the second motion to accept the right-of-way deed for the street rights of way in that subdivision. Mr. Sawyer has moved to authorize, approve the final plat for Fountain Farm and authorize the mayor to sign the plat. There's a second on that motion.
Second.
Second by Mr. Morris. Discussion on the motion. We're clear on what this first one and several of us have done since Mill Pond. So kind of got to relearn the process. I hear no further discussion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And I would also, Heath, you looked at the right-of-way deed. All right, so I entertain a motion to for the city to accept the right-of-way for the streets within Fountain Farms. This is phase one subdivision. Is there a motion to that effect? Mr. Hollis has moved to accept the right-of-way, accept the deed for the streets within Fountain Farm. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Clemens. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. You want to get up and clap?
I almost want to cry. Do we wait till after we do the sign?
Yes.
Okay,
If y'all don't mind.
we don't mind. Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank
Wait a
you.
minute, Mom.
Next item of consideration is something that was discussed at the previous regular meeting, which was to consider authorization of the city attorney to send a letter to the former city attorney to return all city documents. I have seen the draft of that letter. I don't know if council had a chance to see it, but you're requesting just formal. This was a discussion on the records that he's got in his possession that we would like to get in our possession. Council, do you all understand the request?
Motion.
Mr. Sawyer has moved to authorize city attorney to send a letter to the former city attorney to return all city documents in his possession.
Second.
And second by Mr. Morris, discussion of the motion. It's a fairly standard and kind letter that, I think we'll let them know that it's coming, so we can discuss how we're gonna do that. All those in favor of that motion say aye. All opposed, same sign. All right. The next item is to approve the February 2nd workshop minutes. During our regular meeting, there was a word in there that we probably needed to change to be a little bit, it was something the mayor said, and I admit it. I'm referring to a situation coming back and getting us. So if you had a chance to review the minutes as amended or as repurposed, council, Mr. Sawyer, thank you very much. Motion by Mr. Sawyer to approve the February 2nd workshop minutes. Second by Mr. Clemens. All those in favor of that motion say aye. All opposed, same sign. Thank you. So I will. Yeah, one copy. Yeah, sign it. So that's so I wouldn't lose my agenda. I'm not getting fancy. I'm just tired of stuffing big papers. All right. The next item for consideration is consider authorization of the city administrator to pay the Pike County $46,943.70 out of SPLOST funds for the water line improvements reimbursement for the relocation of our 2-inch water line on McKinley Road. And for elaboration, this was the county recently paved and guttered and curbed McKinley Road, and we had a 2-inch water line that was in conflict, and we looked at the alternatives of trying to do it ourselves and get it engineered. So what we ended up doing was discussing the county relocating as part of their contract and got their contractor to do it. We would reimburse them at a future date. So that bill came in last month. We're asking for approval to reimburse the county that amount. Approve that. So there's a motion by Mr. Hollis to approve reimbursement of the county for $46,943.70. There's a second for discussion. Second, Mr. Clemens, any discussion on the motion?
And when was this approved? I don't recall this being approved.
I don't believe it was, Mr. Sawyer. All right, so Mr. Sawyer has asked a question and gotten clarification. All right. All those in favor of that motion say aye. Any opposed say sign. Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't.
I just wanted it to be on the record that the council did.
I understand that, and I respect you asking that. I have some good news for you on the East Side Drainage Project in just a minute. All right, so thank you very much. We will get payment on that. And I appreciate the county working with us and taking care of that. Next item is, in fact, hang on, I'll go ahead and tell you the good news. I signed the final change order for, East Side Drainage Project that reduced the contract price $142,000. So that was 14, it was 13%. And you had requested 10, so we got there. And that was just basically, they didn't place as much material as they had bid on. But the project's pretty much complete. We're looking for the closeout documents. So anyway, I just wanted to share that. That was some good news. There's money that we can use on West Side Drainage on County Farm Road.
That's good news.
It was good
Real
news.
good news.
I liked it.
I did too.
And it was a local contractor, so all that money stayed around here. So. Item number 7, consider software agreement with Duty Hub for the police department. I saw the chief walk in.
Yeah, I just had Chief come in. This was.
Oh, there he is.
This
Here.
is the program that he talked to everybody about in his comments in our last week. It would be their daily activity, anything that it will help with maintaining our new vehicles, with inspections and all of that. Live right there, anytime there's damage, pictures of it, and it will also help with other inventory as needed. It's an app that's on their phone, so they can handle all that as they're out working.
Also, it will help train, also help with state and clear certification if we try to go that route.
You mind coming up to the
I'm sorry.
podium, chief, and making sure that microphone is on?
And I'll speak for Chief. I think his long-term goal is to have our police department certified. Grow and
All right, I just have one question, and there may not be a right now question, but is this app, once, if it was approved and employed, is it transferable to other departments? Like could Public Works use it if, or something down the road?
No, it's
This
just
is public safety. Okay.
Yes.
Well, I know asset management is something that
Yes.
EPD is pushing. Well, we're going to push anyway but
This isn't a complete asset management. It's more for like, mainly your vehicles. I think
Yes.
it is the key part of this. And with us getting the new vehicles coming in, we want to make sure that those are inspected daily. They're maintaining them. They're doing what they're supposed to do. Because we not have our vehicles.
Also, it help with our inventory, all our supplies, equipment. We put all that information, that data inside the software. We keep track of it.
and then
It's assigned to a particular officer, so we'll know where it's at all times. Click on that officer through that app, and it tells us everything.
okay, all right. Well, I mean, I think that it's great to be able to have that information as long as it's updated, as long as in that way we know where things are and things don't disappear or just get lost. And, especially with our new vehicles. So, and we
2,000 and then 2,500 the first year, then 2,000.
so that would come out of the police budget for
Yes, we can
technology,
pull
not
that.
technology, but like computer software.
Yeah, and they've got plenty of supplies that we can do some of that if needed. But their budget right now can withstand that. And it'll cut down on a lot of the paper, because right now we do those daily activity logs on paper, and they have to print them out to get them to Chief, and it's just keeping up with that is ridiculous. So this would put it all right there in the system. They can see what that officer is.
All right, so this has come forward from the police department. City administrator indicated we have sufficient funds, and they're requesting approval to for this software package and to authorize signature of the agreement. All right, so is there?
I mean,
Yes.
I was just gonna say, it gives you the option of 1 year, 2 year, or 3 year. I don't know what,
It's basically the way that they worded that, but we can get together after the fact and make sure.
well, I would just, if it is the option and there's no ramifications as far as the cost, I would do the 1 year renewal. That way, because the termination part, I guess, is what I'm getting to is,
And I think, didn't we talk to him when we did the demo, that we would have to do the 1 year renewal?
That is correct.
Yes.
And I think the 3.2 renewal discusses that, but I understand that would be your concern, that we're only obligating 1 year at a time.
right. So after the first year, if we're good with it, we'll, continue on. But if we're not, then we can do a 60-day notice and we can terminate the contract
Yeah.
out of convenience. So, and then the only other thing is I would just bring to the council's attention is that the venue is Clark County, which, you know, it is Georgia. With the termination clause the way it is, that's really
All right, well, I hate for you to have to go back to Athens to go adjudicate this. Yeah, you got a place to stay. All right, so, Pete has brought, city attorney's brought up a couple items just for our understanding. Recommendation from staff is to approve this, and from department head, is there a motion to that effect from council? Mr. Hollis has moved to approve the service agreement with Duty Hub for the police department for inventory and asset control. Is there a second? Mr. Morris, a second. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. All opposed, same sign. Thank you very much. Item number 8 is consideration of the GEFA loan modification agreement for Pike Plaza sewer project to extend the loan period. And we submitted this just to help out. We submitted a letter to GEFA back in August of last year to extend the loan terms, and due to 5 separate reasons why the biggest reason was that GEFA kind of strung us along for 6 months trying to get the underwriting done. The project is 95% complete, pending a final inspection. But in order to delay having to start repaying the principal on this, we requested a modification, and it just took till 2 weeks ago to get the modification done. It's not changing any of the terms of the loan other than the repayment period would start in, when it's August of this year. This is for the Pike Plaza sewer pump station force main project. And I don't think we're going to end up having to borrow the full amount of the loan discussed in the modification agreement. So we're asking for his permission to approve the modification agreement, allow me to sign it, and then also we need a letter from the city attorney to that effect.
The only changes.
Well, we just extended, if we didn't, the only change is we're basically modifying the term of the construction period. We're doing a schedule mod. And then otherwise we'd have to start paying it back, this month, which, and the project wasn't finished. But the main reason the project wasn't finished is they kind of dragged us around. And then we had problems with getting the contractor to get all his paperwork started properly. All right, so Mr. Sawyer's moved to approve the loan modification of GEFA for the Pike Plaza sewer project. Mr. Hollis is requested that he's going to abstain from the vote, so I need a second from this side. Mr. Clemens is second to the motion. All those in favor of the motion say aye. All opposed, same sign. All right, thank you very much.
I think that letter too, I've already supposed to be on letterhead.
Yeah. And that's standard. And the one that came from GEFA will still have previous city attorney on there, but I think it's only, if you had a chance to review it, it should come from you. And then, we're in the process of getting everybody signed up and switching over. We should be ready to go live with that pump station any day now. So.
That was part of the day, so there's 3, I will have.
They figured out how to bill it, keep up with it and all that. And that was one of the questions.
Yes. The water authority is going to give us billing data, and then we're going to bill it per our rates. And then we also have an agreement to cut off service on the water if they don't pay their sewer.
That's gonna be one bill.
No, we're billing individual tenants.
We've sent letters to all the tenants already. They need to start giving us their accounts.
And the reason is because they're all metered individually by the water authority. I tried very hard to get them to do our billing, and they couldn't ever get them to see the wisdom of doing it from my perspective. So, but we will be able to get them going. And I know there's some other users waiting for the sewer to be hooked up. What they and them have told me. So,
McKinley Walker or another cafe up there. Yeah, we're gonna get everything out.
I heard a Japanese place is looking sushi place. So there you go, right here in Zebulon. We'll just go to Zaxby's.
It's like,
I'll
But they
go
also
to the
should have-
sushi, so.
They should have hibachi too, so hopefully. Anyway, so yes, we'll,
Send them a letter.
we're working on that. We were just make sure as I had to go out there and set a new flow meter. We had money in the budget to do an influent flow meter. So I had to get out there and wire it and get it. So all that work should be done. So we should be able to, and we were working with Randy Chadwick to go out there and connect it. So we start accepting their flow. So that should all be happening now, soon. We'll follow up. Item number 9 is discussion on opportunity space. As you saw at our March regular meeting, we had some opportunities to have some new users or expanded users, and we discussed 2 of the spaces council agreed to allocate for for tomorrow and for the yes team, and there were 2 spaces left. And so I understand there's been some further discussion with the prospective tenants. And Felicia, you have an update for us?
And so we did get a new letter of intent from American Legion. They spoke with Tammy. She kind of went over everything with them from the meeting before. They have stated that they can make 1 or 2 classrooms and a storage space work for them. They still want the other space, but they can make that work. Tammy and I walked over yesterday to look at it, and we will have 1 classroom and storage area open, so it could be that both can be housed in that situation.
The other person asking for space was the water
Still
authority,
water authority.
because they're having to leave their space.
I also did get with Libby on insurance. We would not be able to do any kind of burn pit or anything part with our insurance. So she did verify that. We won't be able to do that. Grant Martin.
we have to have a motion. To approve that, or is it?
This is a discussion item.
I had asked a question about how, when the time limit was gonna be up on what we could do. I know Alicia was working on that.
So I have done some research on that, and actually, we can submit a letter to community development. That building was done through the CDBG grant. After some research, it was a 20-year commitment, so it would have been until 2030 for us to be able to get in that space. However, we can write a letter to them explaining how we have fulfilled the use that we intended for that space with that grant money, and they will change that to a 10-year time frame, which would put it to where we can currently use the space for what it looks like. She is currently pulling our old grant application because we locate that here, so that I can draft a letter to them letting them know we have fulfilled our obligations to the grant, and we would like to use the space for future all purposes. That she did not see a problem with, and that would happen rather quickly.
I'm not opposed to us using it for whatever, we just need to be real clear that there's gonna come a time, probably in the near future, that we're gonna have to rethink that whole layout over there. But nothing's gonna be long-term.
Right, correct. Currently, our user agreements are year by year.
Yeah.
And so we're in the process, I believe, of getting all those renewed, or renewing the ones that are.
I'm working with Heath to get the one done for tomorrow, and I will, it also came to mind, kind billing utilities the right way, so we are working on that.
So I guess and to help the audience understand is that the federal funds were used to renovate part of the building, and then we borrowed money from USDA to do this part of the building back in 2008. And so there's a 20-year period that the federal funds, that couldn't be used for anything but a non-profit use. So we're trying to keep our options open for it when we need to grow, that we could grow into that space. Since we own it, we've got it. It would probably need some work, but that would allow us to expand in the way it's going. And I'm pretty sure we're going to need that space. But for now, we could accommodate users, and then our agreement is we charge them essentially for utilities and maintenance just to kind of cover, but it's not considered rent.
Yes, and once we get this letter done, we can charge rent.
So we had 2 users request the remaining space. We had American Legion, and Ms. Richardson's here, and we also had the Water Authority. And it would be good if we could accommodate both users. The Water Authority and the city are going to be working on a couple of projects together, and it'd be nice to have them there to coordinate billing on Pike Plaza sewer. That's my thoughts on that. I also would love to accommodate American Legion, since I know they have to find another home because their home is going to be used for something else. They're going to disappear.
So how many rooms do they have open?
Currently, there are 2 classrooms, 3 classrooms,
Recommend American Legion get 2 classrooms, 1 closet, and a water authority.
So the motion by Mr. Morris to essentially allocate
Because that's what they originally wanted. Am I correct?
2 classrooms and a closet for the American Legion as a
And the other
new user, and then the Water Authority get the
Other storage closet.
other storage and
we won't be able to accommodate that. The water authority needs back access, so there's wrong with that. So it can either be American Legion gets in water authority has place, or water authorities on that side. And
okay. We thought we heard 3 classrooms.
there is. There's 2 on this side
Right.
and a closet. And then there's 1 left over by our hope for tomorrow and a
Right.
closet.
I'm sticking with what I said.
Okay. All right. So
The 2 classrooms in the closet for American Legion, the other classroom in the closet.
All right, so there's a motion by Mr. Morris, there's a second for discussion. Second, Mr. Hollis, so discussion on that motion. Is it,
It would just be American Legion.
So you're saying we could put house authority on the back side, with 2 classrooms in the closet.
There's the water authority on the far end, and then that would be 1 classroom and a closet in the main portion.
American Legion is y'all's call. They said they would take 1 classroom in the closet. Or what
Their
did they
letter
say?
said that they would take that if they had to. I think 1 classroom, they would like 2 classrooms, but that they could do 1 classroom if that was what was needed. They would have to find an additional storage space.
That would get both of them. We're gonna, if we do it that way. That'll be my motion.
well, hang on, there's been a motion on the floor and a second by Mr. Morris for 1. So either Mr. Morris, you can ask him to either withdraw that motion or we take a vote on it, and if it doesn't pass, then you can make that substitute. I mean, you can do a substitute motion. Mr. Morris, that your motion?
Yeah.
I'm just asking.
Yeah. They put in for it over a year ago.
All right, so there's a motion to basically allocate the remaining space to the American Legion.
So, is there a way to take the other classroom and make it? Is there any way that we could move stuff around or anything to accommodate both? Mike Powell have to have the classroom he's got, but he use another classroom. Is that possible?
Already approved.
Well, we could have a classroom. I think we need to try to accommodate both because of we're gonna need the water authority to be able to build sewage. The way that they could have one classroom and have some of the storage space on the other side. They could get away with one and just need storage space. They
Yes,
use
so
part of that.
we have a classroom and then there's a closet across that's pretty big for storage, and then there's one other closet down the hall. And then just some water room they can have that one. So give them two storage spots that are of decent size and then
That work for
Can I?
Does that work for you? Can you come up and? Sure. Yeah, come on, Bill, we can talk.
So we're gonna lay the motion on the table for a second while we have some further discussion.
Just want to clarify what Mr. Trammell said. So we would accept a lower facility footage pending the vote of the council. We would like to have the 2.5. We think our needs warrant the 2.5. We have up to 30 people that can attend our meetings once a month. There's a potential 70 members. We also have several other meetings that we do. That's the purpose for the one classroom. The storage, as probably people have seen, we have a lot of ceremonial equipment that we store right now in the facility we have. And then an office, what you call a closet, for like administrative. We have finances, we have admin type of activities. But pending the vote, we would obviously take a lesser amount because we're going to be homeless and desperate in a few months.
All right, any other questions?
So we can make the one classroom work with the two storage rooms for them? That'd be better.
One classroom and what you're talking about, closet?
Two closets and a classroom. Did you make that work?
Yes.
He's fine with that. I'm good with it.
Modify your.
Modify.
All right, so, before we, so do you have any, if we approve the modified where you get some space, not all that you really would like, but you can make it work and the water authority gets some space that they need, will you be able to store what you need on premise?
Probably not. We do have two 40-foot trailers that, or even more excess stuff, which we're going to downsize because of this move, but we're also looking for a place to park those where we can easily access. These are our chairs folding chairs like we use for the ceremonies on the square.
Yeah.
The tables and chairs that we won't be using that we pay for, like round tables, like for a formal type setting, which will need to be stored. We have bounce houses, that need storage.
All right, so
And the closet is what you're terming. That's that long, almost the width of a classroom, maybe 12 feet
that's
wide.
one.
Yes, we could handle two.
some of this sounds like it's a, kind of like putting a pillowcase on, you gotta kind of make it work, but,
Excuse me, sir. We're willing to put a ramp up there, but if the storage area is, way down here, then we obviously can use the front door, but
Okay.
we were planning on, we have a ramp used for veterans, wheelchair type thing that we would set up for those who aren't handicapped, which are actually not many of them attend our meetings, but for the movement of equipment.
for staging. All right, well, I think that's a detail that that's operational detail, I think. So, Morris, you're willing to, amend your motion to basically be able to accommodate both users and they, city administrator can work out the details. All right, that's Mr. Morris's motion. Is there a second to that motion? Mr. Hollis is second. All those in favor of that motion say aye. All opposed, same sign. Thank you. And when we send out our user agreements with the understanding that it's basically a year. All right. Item number 10, city administrator has discovered we had a checking account over at First Bank of Pike, which we need to close to be able to get those, capture those funds, and we need council approval. This one's in a couple of former employees. Even though it was in our name, it had their information attached to it.
Yeah, so this account is linked to 2 former police officers that we found out is at First Bank Pike. All of our accounts are with United Bank. There's no back information on this account, so I would propose that we close this. We will move the funds into the general fund.
I mean, we entertain, would love to entertain the opportunity of having, I know we have we financed a car through First Bank of Pike, and we always give them an opportunity to build. For this reason, we should need to, since it's tied to 2 former employees, we need to get it back in our hands. All right, so there's a resolution's been prepared, but we need to have it approved by council. I need to sign it before we go to the bank and get the funds transferred. Is there a motion to that effect? The House has moved to close the bank account at First Bank of Pike. Second by Mr. Morris. We're all clear on that? All in favor of that motion say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, well, we have completed the items of business on the agenda. We will have an executive session for discussion of personnel. I will take a short recess so we can take care of that. If anybody needs to get up and make a call real quick, I'll entertain a motion to do an executive session at 3:42 for the purpose of discussing personnel.
Make a motion.
Ms. Sawyer's moved, Mr. Morris is second. All those in favor going to executive session at 3:42, say aye. All opposed, same sign. All right. So, microphones off.